Hey everybody, good afternoon and welcome back to the ChatGTM Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Beck, and joined with me is my partner in crime, Mr. Chad Horn. Chad, good morning. Look at that.
Good morning, Beck.
Good morning. You know these intros we do, ultimately it's like, do we have to do intros every time? Like, they got to stand on
I
their
love
own.
the intros. I like thinking about how I can be weird occasionally. Right?
Every now and then.
But day three.
Yeah.
Day three, sir.
Yeah, why don't we take us in with our guest here?
Well, we're here with Wren. Is it Wren Carter?
It's Wren Carter.
Wren Carter of Point B, one of the guys getting the work done behind the scenes, making it happen for brands.
Good morning.
Good to
What's
be
your
here.
official
Very
title?
good. Senior Manager Consulting.
Ooh, he dropped some bass in his voice when he says Senior Manager
And
Consulting.
there's a comma after Senior Manager.
Is there a radio in your background? Like, you just went radio voice on us.
No, but there is some journalism.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote for the school paper in college.
Okay.
So, but
okay.
yeah.
Very cool. So for those that don't know Point B, if you've been living under a rock or you haven't heard the new word, which I call it, the funny thing is I hadn't heard of Point B. I've been in this industry for 16 years. Right? And last year is when I first got turned on to Point B. I started running to Rich and Pat and some other members of your team. And then all of a sudden I heard the same word over and over and over again. It's not that the word was new, it's just new to me, and now I had the awareness that you guys existed. But for the audience that may not be aware of what Point B is and who you guys are as a company, give us a little just an insight. What is Point B? What do you guys do?
Sure. Point B is a management consulting firm. We've been around since the mid-'90s.
See, I was under a rock.
Yeah, so exactly. And we run across several verticals,
Yes.
everything from healthcare to restaurant and hospitality, consumer goods, retail, financial services. And I focus within the restaurant and hospitality vertical, and focused on the digital and tech transformation area, which means that I work with companies who are trying to go through some sort of business transition and transformation, and work with them on what their technologies need to be, understanding their strategy. How do you underpin that strategy with technology? What are your blockers? Process redesign, and making sure that it goes from strategy to execution.
And so that's full services from the RFP, the gathering requirements, to deployment. Like, how far in that journey is Point B? Is it end to end?
It could be it's absolutely end to end. I mean, we work with clients all the time who are coming in and saying, hey, we know we have a bunch of technology hanging out there that we need to get to, but before we get there, let's understand our strategy as a business and how we might want to apply that technology to our strategy. So it's really basically working with the business first and understanding their needs.
Yeah.
Chad?
What I mean, on the tech side, two things stood out to me early about Point B. One was that you guys built a whole lab in your office to show it all working together, because people talk about the tech stack, and so you got to make sure, if you're a brand, that this piece needs to work with this piece, and you demonstrate it working with all of the main enterprise players in one room. It's pretty staggering. The other was that you guys, as good as you get to know your clients, you're in an optimal position sometimes to develop the technology. So you've got that weapon in your arsenal as well too. So this thing that they need doesn't exist. Let's fix that. That's also insane to me.
And I think the thing there that's really worth noting, we work with a lot of clients who they may not really know what's out there, what opportunities are, that are available to them. And I think that's really where this capability we have, where we can go in and fast prototype. So we can hear about a business need, and somewhere, say we're talking to someone who's in strategy, in their product or their product development area, product owner, and they're thinking, gee, wouldn't it be great if? And so we can say, yeah, well, that might be great. Let's work with you on prototyping something. We have a technology team that can come in and do a fast prototype with you. And so it's you don't have to just move into some sort of theoretical concept and buy into that. You really get to have a hands-on experience with us.
Kind of crack the code of the can we, should we conversation, right?
Right, exactly.
Maybe if it's a good idea. Now, I know, having worked with you guys for several months now, that you are some really exciting projects, right? Can I talk about some of the brands they know about? Like the big coffee company, right?
Yes, exactly. I work with a coffee company quite a bit.
Yeah.
I live in Seattle, so you can imagine which one it is.
Yeah, they got some stuff up there.
Yeah.
And then there's a burger company here in Texas. We can talk about them all day, Whataburger, right?
Yes,
In
exactly.
fact, you guys just got a big award from them.
That's right.
And I think it's worth mentioning and the why behind it. Can you share a little bit
the fast
about
track.
that?
And I think that the key thing there really is that I started off very early on with our very first Whataburger project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all showed up and we were all nervous. We have this new client, and we started off really helping them out just with a mapping exercise of their future, and now that's grown into just a dynamite relationship between both of us, and. So I think what you're seeing there, the whole real gist of that award is just what happens when we get in. We really partner deeply.
Yeah.
We show up as people, and we work with them as people.
Yep.
And as a result, we're really invested and at even a deep kind of emotional level as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that comes across in our work.
Yeah.
That comes across in and how seriously we take it and how we deliver.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be invited to come meet with Jerry, with the VP of IT at Whataburger. I believe that's his role there. And he shared with me a little bit of the anecdote of the story of when you guys were given the award. And it wasn't one of those things where Point B dumped in some money and they got the award because they sponsored an event. Point B had no idea that you guys were getting the award and almost didn't even show up for the event because you thought you were just going to pass on it. And the guys were in the back of the room and got called up. And it was more like the Miss America, they came running up to the stage. And if anyone knows Rich Falto, he probably doesn't do that thing, but I have a feeling he really kind of lost it in that moment.
I would love to see Rich Falto doing the Miss America.
They like me. They really like me.
I bet that would be really entertaining.
But it seems like the recurring theme, though, when I was talking to Jerry about that, is there's a blurred line here. There's a blurred line in Starbucks. There's a blurred line every time I talk to somebody that's worked with Point B that feels like they forget who's working where.
Yeah.
Right?
Just their
That
team.
you are on the Whataburger team. And they have to remind them, no, we're part of this, but we actually have a company that we work for that is in service of you. Tell me about that relationship. You talked about that being emotional and connected.
Yeah.
I think
part of that, a lot of that really comes from the culture we have at Point B.
Yeah.
First of all, I think I've been at Point B now for 14 years, a little over 14 years. And from the beginning, you go through this hiring process, and one of the things we're really looking for is people who really naturally want to work together and would want to be together. We form a bit of a family within our own company, and so we extend that with our clients. We're people genuinely who like to connect and want to connect in a client environment, who really get invested in each other.
It's not transactional.
It's not transactional for us.
Yeah.
And you always have projects where maybe your client wants it to be a little more transactional.
It's up to them sometimes, right? They don't let you get as close as they'll let you.
Right. We're not going to push ourselves onto it. But that generally is that's how we roll. That's how we function as a company and as employees of this company. So, and that extends into our work.
Yeah.
And I think that dedication really comes out. We see. I have a colleague who was in Japan on vacation and ended up 3 a.m. in Japan on a phone call. And for him, it wasn't work. It was like, of course I'm going to do this. This really, this matters. This really is important.
Well, that's actually funny. When I was in Chicago, I couldn't get in the building yet, and everybody was busy. So I texted Pat, not knowing he's in Japan. Pat's climbing up a mountain in Japan and gets back to me.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I was like, go do your thing. I was just blown away that he took his time from his vacation to answer me back, and I'm superfluous to the organization, honestly, but that just made me feel so good, and I have a feeling that's how those relationships you have impact. People remember how you make you feel, right?
Exactly. I think there's a metaphor there, something about the climbing the mountain and still getting back, and I think maybe that is how we climb our mountain. I don't know. Maybe that's corny.
Zen.
But I think that's that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, let's build on a little bit here, and I know, Chad, I'm dominating here, but I'm such a geek about Point B. Let's talk about Pat, and because we're here right now at the Prosper Accelerate Conference in Dallas, Texas, and Pat is one of your accelerators, right? Tell us a little bit about Point B's commitment about with Prosper, and actually more so, Point B's commitment to Pat's growth and development, his journey.
Yeah, well, I tell you, first of all, and to that second one, I think that at Point B, we really do try to nourish people who come in and show great talent.
Yeah.
Pat is someone who's shown great talent from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so...
And he's so humble. Like,
yeah, he really is. I mean,
yeah.
he's just like,
regular dude.
Yeah, he's just totally regular. And he's shown great talent from the beginning. And so naturally, we want to see him prosper, which is why he's part of this. Yep. And we're excited. We're excited to see where it takes him.
Yeah.
I know we love being part of this. It's been great being here for me for these past 3 days here on day 3, and just the energy and also the opportunity to really network and get to know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And in this space, it's a very warm environment.
It is. It is. It's, I call it almost like a no pitch show where people, you don't have so much pitching, is just getting to know the people around you.
Right. Right, very, very human.
Chad?
So, Wren, one of the things we learned about you guys a few months ago was that, Point B serves multiple industries. We knew that, but that the restaurant hospitality vertical, you guys are growing the fastest in. Given what you guys do, what's happening in the industry that's attributing to that, and what's going on at Point B that's attributing to that?
Yeah, I think a few things. I mean, one, even broader, beyond this industry, we see a lot of topics that are becoming big within this industry around AI and how do we cut costs in certain areas while investing in others. Well, that's a big one right now. How do we cut capital, invest in OpEx if we need to in order to, to create a better customer experience? We don't want to just become, machines. We want the environment to, to continue to be very human.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that across the board and other places, in particular, in how to use AI and not turn it into, just a transactional environment.
Right.
So, but I think in general right now, there's a lot of, in this industry, there's a lot of, opportunity for disruption or, improvement. And it just seems to be happening right now. And we've had some people who have a lot of background in that space already. So we were just perfectly primed to be here at the right place at the right time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, IT strategy was on everybody's lips. What's your IT strategy? Right now, to segue from what you just said, it's what is your AI strategy is the new conversation. Share a little bit with us about how Point B helps with that AI strategy and gets their arms around that for their clients, or helps navigate that shoal of reefs and cliffs to get them to the promised land.
Yeah. Do you remember Pet Rocks or Chia Pets? Do you remember those?
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
Googly
exactly.
eyes in a rock that made $1 million.
Or NFTs. I mean, there are all these.
Boy.
Yep.
Yeah. I had an NFT project at one in.
He had an NFT company.
Oh,
I did in the industry. And I just sit next to Bloomin' Brand and say, "Hey, you remember your NFT with the Bloomin' Onion?" And they go, "No."
Yeah, exactly. I am not saying that AI is that, but what I am saying is that it in how people sometimes chase it without really understanding how it's going to enable their business.
1,000 mirrors.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to. So we understand that, of course, and we start off with, back to what I said before, what are you trying to do as a business? Where are you trying to go? And so from there you can start looking at AI opportunities. So let's say you're working in labor modeling.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to optimize your labor model.
Yes.
But you don't really want to do it with a bunch of data analysts, who are crunching away and at numbers and data. But maybe AI could float on top of that. Maybe AI could have an opportunity find opportunities for you to optimize how you work at different stations.
Yeah.
And so it's really not about just where do we apply AI, but where are your business opportunities?
What's the problem?
And what would an appropriate AI solution be like?
Yeah. Interesting. Chad?
So let's talk about your work for a second. What is a day in the life for Wren?
A day in the life for me. Well, first of all, it starts off with a very warm bowl of matcha.
Okay.
A warm bowl of matcha.
A warm bowl of matcha.
Why do I see you having it with two hands?
Exactly. I do that. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. It's seriously, I do it with the bowl, the whisk, everything.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, so that's where the day really starts.
Is there caffeine in matcha?
And there is caffeine.
Okay.
There's also some theanine, and so the two of them work together.
Ooh.
They kind of bind to create kind of a focused energy, as opposed to theanine tends to create focus.
this.
And
Chad's
caffeine-
buying me matcha.
Yeah.
I need focus.
I'm
This is
by
good.
myself on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
Yeah, so, and then I'll kind of fast forward to when the work part starts.
Okay.
Assume maybe there's some gym time or something before then. So I actually show up at my client's site, and it's a coffee company in Seattle.
Yep. They got a mermaid or two.
Yeah, exactly. So, so I work with them, and I've been working with them on several different projects over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm working on some really exciting stuff within their labor area right now. And so it's everything. It's highly cross-functional work, which is another really sweet spot for us. It could be everything from working with an engineering team to data analytics group, to the to the business intelligence folks, data engineers, as well as, and really primarily, business strategists who are trying to pull together a solution and need a lot of help to just make it happen. And so basically that's my day. It's a lot of meetings and deliverables. I mean, that's what consultants do, right?
Yeah.
We meet with people, we understand where they're coming from, and then we also have deliverables that we put out there to make it happen.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny you call out the cross-functional work, because I don't think I've seen a company in our industry that didn't have a lot of room for improvement around cross-functional dynamics.
Yeah.
As the biggest company I've worked for, it's like cross-functional
Yeah.
things just don't even exist that need to badly. It's one of the things that stood out. So I'm glad you can come in and fill those gaps.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things that biggest drivers for us, really, and where we are needed. It really is that space where you have a lot of different groups who have to come together and do something within a company.
Yeah.
And it all starts off with agreeing on what that something is, what that strategy is, and then what are the tactics behind it. And then even if they get that far, they still need a lot of help making it happen. And that's where we come in and really function as that glue, and help them make it happen.
Awesome.
So we're here today. We're in Q4. We're marching merrily toward 2026. If you had a magic 8 ball, what's happening in Q1 next year, Q2? What's the things that are coming up that we should be having, or our viewers and listeners should be having their minds on or thinking about when it comes to their journey, digital transformation, solutions in the market, just some gems of pearls of wisdom, so to speak, that you see coming up?
Yeah, I think one of the first things that I always encourage is think about where you think you have problems.
Yeah.
And not just your short-term problems, but where are you trying to go as, just as a company? What are you really trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve in 2026?
Yeah.
And what do you think your barriers are? And I think that for a lot of companies right now, we talked about it earlier, they're trying to figure out how to apply AI and how can they save, and do I need to jump into it? And I think there the word of caution is don't jump in too fast, but also don't not jump in. I mean, don't you still have to
don't
come
be
up,
too afraid.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you have to plan.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think you're going to see more of that just continue to pick up in 2026. I mean, there are a lot of things happening macroeconomically that are going to change in the way companies address their supply chain, and there's going to be a lot of focus there, and a lot of focus as well on just how do we modernize our tech stack so that we're relevant a few years out. Yeah, so I think 2026 will be an interesting year.
It definitely will. Chad?
Well, I know there's just only a little bit left of this show, but what's been the highlight so far for you?
Good question.
Yeah, I've been really surprised and taken at just how holistic the sessions have been here. It has not felt like rote leadership kind of stuff you could read in a book on an airplane.
Yeah.
It has really been very heartfelt and also smart. I mean, just some of the guidance I've heard from folks. I've walked away from a lot of these sessions rethinking my own attitude around vulnerability.
Ooh.
You know, and how being vulnerable as a leader is actually a way to really grow and a way to really lead, actually, through feelings of vulnerability. And so it's not just about, technically how do you lead. It's really about the whole human and connecting with other whole humans and assessing where you are in your career. Are you in that learn stage? Are you in that deliver stage? Or are you in the giving back stage?
Yeah.
And it's been very thought-provoking.
I think we're latching on to the same things. I mean, we're in a people business.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody's in a people business technically, but this is a business of people, serving people. I mean, we feed the world, right? And that is me. I mean, I was just at the NAC show, and what I found out is that half of America goes to the convenience store every day.
Wow.
That's an insane number. I didn't even get my mind around that, right? And restaurants, same kind of thing. Everybody's eating out. Everybody's having these experiences. Everybody's looking to enjoy themselves. But at the same time, we have businesses that are struggling in some cases to find that profitability, razor thin margins. And how do you do all that while having a smile?
Yeah.
Externally at your customer, but also how do you love on each other internally to get that terroir of making that grape sweet enough to make that delicious wine that you're looking for after the pressing, right? And I don't know, we work in such a unique space, and I think here embodies it more than most, where we just talk about how do we get there as a people, as a culture, as a tribe, smart business, smart practices, and I think, having worked with you guys, I think you represent that pretty well.
Oh, thank you.
No, the Point B's become my friends too, so the lines have blurred here as well. So we do have to land the plane here, and I know you literally have to get on a plane, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what I always like to close with, though, is, if somebody's feeling something, or a company's feeling a certain itch or a pain, what is it that would make them want to call Point B and have that conversation to open the door to potential collaboration, at least evaluate if there's something going on there that you could help with?
I think you said it. If they're feeling an itch, that would do it. And I think that we'd be happy to just have a conversation.
Yeah.
We just like to stay in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's really how we roll, and we welcome it.
Yeah. And what's the best way to get a hold of you if somebody really grabbed on something you said or wanted to reach out to Point B? What's your website?
Our website is pointb.com.
Okay.
And so that's a great way to get hold of us, and there's contact information on there, and also they can just reach out to me directly.
Are you a LinkedIn guy?
I'm a LinkedIn guy, Wren Carter at Point B. So that's a real easy way to do it.
Perfect. Well, I think we'll wrap up on that. So, Wren, thank you so much. I shake your hand, but I got a little bit of sniffles. I want to make sure I send you home safe and healthy.
All right.
But everybody, this is, it's such a pleasure to work with Point B. Every time I talk to them, they treat me with more than kindness. They treat me with respect. They respect my time. They value my input. Whenever I work with them, I feel heard. And I think that's something also extremely important when you're working with people. Sometimes you have the whole conversation with somebody, they didn't hear a word you said.
Yeah.
And I always feel heard when I'm talking to Point B. And I imagine if that's a business conversation, that level of connection, you move so much faster.
Yeah.
So for now, guys, this is Michael Beck, Chad Horn, Wren Carter, reporting live here from the Prosper Accelerate Conference. And as always, random acts of kindness, sprinkle that stuff everywhere. You might change somebody's day and definitely make you feel better too. So with that being said, we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.